Vice Mayor Whitehead.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Greg. It is very interesting. So I have a couple questions. On the homeless population, is there any funding for transportation to expanded shelters in other communities?
Yes, Council, Mayor, Council, and Councilwoman Whitehead. What we intend to do is one of the agencies that I've mentioned that we've worked with pretty extensively, they provide that transportation. And that's a mechanism that we don't currently have in place. So yes, it would directly answer that question.
And you mentioned hotels. Obviously, hotels are really expensive, but right now hotels aren't filled. Are you negotiating pricing for like a specific hotel if you're trying to put people in hotels? Is there some kind of negotiation going on to get the pricing so that we can stretch these dollars?
Councilwoman Whitehead, yes, we've actually gotten several calls, but I think it's been more brokers that have wanted to sort of, it would help them if we could kind of work with some area hotels. But Mesa's got a really good formula, and we're working closely with them on, they've got a couple of hotels. And the interesting thing for you all to know is that the neighbors in those communities right now where they have folks housed in hotels really have no idea what's going on inside, but they do it very smartly. They have police that actually are on site throughout the 24-hour period, and then they have another agency, Community Bridges, that actually case manages all of those individuals daily, and that's a model that I would certainly want to entertain if we were going to go down that path.
Okay, great. That's great. And then you mentioned a lot about seniors, senior rent program, senior food program. Because of the economic downturn, does it make sense to expand these programs and not limit these programs to seniors? Should we categorize seniors or just have rental assistance and food programs? Is there any benefit to doing that?
Mayor, Councilwoman Whitehead, so we've actually got 3 different, pretty much what you just outlined. That's exactly what we're doing, is we're not targeting just one population because we know everybody needs that. One of the things that I know we're going to get hit hard with is probably in August. We're probably going to see September into the fall. We're going to see folks that are going to be really struggling because, we know that there are a lot of people out of work. We know that the checks are not going to be coming in forever. And we know that folks are going to be, and that I think is when we're really going to see an uptick in the requests on everything that you just outlined there. So that's what we're trying to prepare for. Okay,
so 3 more questions. You mentioned the air conditioner broken, so you stick people in a hotel. Can we have a reserve fund that just fixes the air conditioner and gets paid back?
I think we can do that.
That would be a lot cheaper, I would think.
It would be, yes.
Okay, and then the CBDG funds?
CDBG, yes.
Yeah, that. It limits the rental assistance to 3 months. Can we set up a program that starts after that 3 months, so we use those funds first on people who are eligible, but then we know that this might last longer, have a separate fund that specifically, so my whole goal is to not delay a financial problem, but to prevent it. So we know we might need rental assistance beyond 3 months. Is there a way to set up a fund that specifically starts on month 4?
Councilwoman Whitehead, I think there probably is. I know right now we can do the first 3 months, which is great because a lot of times we're only able to do it once a year per family. So we know now we can do at least 3 for 3 consecutive months, but I think it's a discussion that I can certainly entertain. I think you're right. It's kind of speaking to what I'm talking about, that it's going to get tougher and tougher for folks before it gets easier. But I'd be happy to entertain that.
And I guess the final thing is, as I look at the breakout in categories, and it would be nice to know estimates on your categories of what you really think in an ideal world, what you think would be sufficient money to deal with the people who are having these issues versus the money you're asking for. So we have a sense, because I think if we keep people in their homes and we keep them fed and we keep the utilities paid, we prevent so many other problems. So I would like estimates on how much you think it would cost. You know, in an ideal world, if you could have the money you needed, how much would that be?
Councilwoman Whitehead, I'd be very happy to get that for you. You know,